What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 39 of my AlaMobile career, and we're here for the Austrian Grand Prix. And we, as you saw, we nearly spun out in the first turn of our first run in Q1, but we nevertheless set 3 purple sectors, and in the end, we end the session in P2, a tenth away from Leclerc. So, anyways, let's get into Q2. Here we go, into turn 3 we go, and that's an Alpine who didn't let me pass and onto this DRS to go, and he suddenly turns into me. What the hell? Side by side we go, down to turn 4, but somehow he backs off in the end, and I'm released. Now we'll come to the end, onto the start finish straight we go, and we'll set a purple first sector, a middle sector green, and last sector purple. And here are the results. No, my teammate didn't make it into Q3. Just one position behind Q3 and ended up in P11. Anyways, let's get into Q3. Off we go, and final turn, onto the start finish straight we go, and we'll set 3 purple sectors. Let's go. And here are the results of Q3 and also the results overall. In the end, my teammate, as you just saw, didn't make it to Q3 and ended up in P11. And here are the final red lines, and off we go for the race in the Austrian Alps. And we directly defend the inside of Max Verstappen as we got a great start. To turn 1 we go. We have to again defend the inside line as he gets a better run than me up the hill. Side by side we go, down to turn 3, up to turn 3. Into this turn we go, we brake a bit too late, we run a bit deep, but it's still enough to stay in front of him. And we're now coming down to turn 4, we have to again defend the inside line as he tries around the outside. Harsh defending move against Max Verstappen, but we can stay in front of him, and instead Leclerc swoops through. Leclerc is up to P2, now we have to defend him. Into this turn we go, we run wide a bit, and he clips my car, and we go side by side down to this turn, but suddenly he brakes too early, way earlier than I expect, and I spin him out, and somehow I can survive it and get up into P1 again. But now Verstappen is trying to overtake me as my run out of that turn was compromised, but through the final 2 corners we go, onto the start finish straight, we make up some ground, and we're leading again. In the beginning of lap 3, as we are approaching turn 3, we turn in a bit too early and the car pops us, the sausage curb, and we get tangled and our car flies onto the ground and we lose several positions to a Red Bull, to a Ferrari, to a Merc. We're down to P4, and next up ahead is already a Haas Jager. The Slovakian Haas driver is now trying to overtake me, and he's done it. He made the switchback and overtakes me too, and I'm down to P5 now. What the hell is going on? Why is the Haas suddenly so fast compared to an Aston? But I tried the re-overtake move into turn 7, but now he gets a better run, better exit, and into this turn I've tried to overtake him, and now it worked out finally. I'm up to P4 again. Next up ahead is Salvatore, my countryman. As we're now approaching turn 3 again, into this turn we go, we brake a bit later, a dive bomb on the inside, we tap his tires a bit, but somehow we don't make more contact. Into turn 4 we go now, around the outside I tried, but he brakes perfectly, and I can't do a switchback move as Jager did on me before. So I have to settle back with P4 for now. Through this turn we go, into this next left-hander, and now overtaking as he brakes a bit earlier than I expected, and now I'm up to P3. Next up ahead is Pole David and Verstappen, and Pole David tries to make a move on Verstappen. Into turn 1 they go, and also now we go into turn 1, and we use it and also overtake Verstappen, and we're up to P2, and Pole David is up to P1. Verstappen just lost 2 positions in 1 corner. This was crazy. The AI is making moves. This is also crazy. And I directly went deep into turn 3, but somehow I managed to stay on track. What I wanted to say is the AI is now finally making moves each other. Now they can also fight. Not only I have to create a fight. So anyways, a lap later we caught up to Polo David, like kind of, as we didn't really catch up to him. So this time we catch up to him a bit more, a few times we make up, and now into the final 2 corners of the lap we'll catch up a bit more. Through turn 9, through turn 10, we also have the DRS now. Onto the start finish straight we go. Can we make a move somewhere on the Ferrari, man? As we are closing and closing, as we are approaching turn 1. Through turn 1 we go, we get a better run and use the overtake to try and attempt to overtake Polo David. As we are now coming up to the hill, into turn 3 we go, we do the dive bomb on the inside, but we brake too late, we overshoot it and went deep, and Polo David is through again. Instead Verstappen caught up and tries to overtake me. On the inside he tries it, I blocked the inside, he tries it around the outside, side by side we go into turn 4, but I push him wide and can stay in front of him. Into this turn we go, I guess it's turn 6. Around the outside he tries it, he tried to hang around the outside, but I defend perfectly and can stay in front of him. But now Polo David ran away, we have to catch up to him again. A lap later we caught up to him, but I nearly lost the car in turn 9. Exiting turn 10, we're now really close. We're closer than ever before to Polo David. Into turn 1 we go. We're now really close with the overtake. Can we now make a move? But not making the same mistake than before. We'll see. Down to turn 3 we go. I had a little look on the inside, but I stay behind him. And exit, I tap his right rear tire, and he gets a better run. But me with the overtake and the DRS, can we nevertheless make a move? On the outside, I try to squeeze him into the inside, but he doesn't back off, so I have to, and he stays in front of me. In the end of lap 10, we caught up to him again. Onto the start finish straight, and we tangle his rear, and I spin him out. What the hell? He kind of gave me the lead now, and I'm now in P1 with Verstappen now in P2, and Polo David is in P4. This is acceptable for him, I think. He can catch up again. And in the end of lap 11, Verstappen had a better run, exiting the tunnel, tangles my car, and then I make a mistake. Verstappen overtakes me while attempting a move. He in the end overtook me because I made a mistake. Oh no, and now also Salvatore has caught up, and I'm now down to P2 again. Meanwhile, Polo David is down to P5, but still close with both marks, and I closed up to Verstappen, and I tried, I don't know what that was just, but I had a little look on Verstappen, let's say it like that, but Salvatore instead overtook me, and Diaga comes to the pits, and now I'm side by side with Salvatore. Up the hill we go, he squeezes me onto the grass, but I had to back off as to avoid more carnage. So this time we go, I catch up to him a bit. Now with the overtake and the DRS, I must overtake him to catch up to Verstappen. As we're coming down to turn 4, where will I make the move? On the inside, down the inside we go, and we make a perfect lunge on the inside, and we are through. We are up to P2, and next up ahead is Verstappen in lap 13. On the beginning of lap 13, we caught up to Verstappen. Where will I make the move? As we are now already closing with the overtake. Can I make a lunge down to turn 3? Down the inside we go, and we make the lunge. Not so right, but somehow we made the lunge, and we are up to P1. We somehow overtook him, and we squeezed him also a bit. So somehow he backs off a little more, and suddenly Polo David is up to P3 now. A great effort for him, and he's now also closed up to Surfactix. So he's again fighting for the win, I think. As we're now approaching turn 3 again in lap 14. This time we get a great run through this turn, but the AI nevertheless gets a better one. So I will have to defend again the inside in this turn. As Sofx is catching up. He goes around the outside and we defend the inside and he switches to the inside and gets a way better run than me, and somehow he backs off and then I nearly spin out and I spin out in this turn and I have to cut the whole turn and somehow Verstappen crashes into me and we get a warning, but we lost 3 places to both Marks and the Ferrari of Pole David, so we'll see what we can do. Into turn 9 we go. We got up to, this is Salvatore. What is going on? No, yes, this is Salvatore. What the hell? He got overtaken by both. No. What? I don't know. Never mind. I'm now overtaking Salvatore and up to P2 now. Next up I had Sofx, the other Mercedes, as Pole David and Verstappen came to the pits. And also a few other drivers, as in lap 16 I caught up to Sofx. Yeah, up the hill we go. Can I now overtake him? As you can remember maybe from the last race, we had a small battle with Sofx and he won the battle. And this time I go around the outside in turn 3 and I make quick progress and directly overtake him. This was a nice move versus the Mercedes driver from Barbados. As we are now coming to turn 4, we run wide a bit and nearly lost the car, but somehow I could stay on track. And now through these 2 turns we go and we run wide again. We make the same mistake again. And now the Mercedes driver nearly overtook me, but somehow we can stay in front of Sofx. And we are still leading. But I made the same mistake 2 times. It is crazy. And now to turn 9 we go. Sofx comes to the pits. I'll do some more laps. As we're coming to the start finish straight, we run wide a bit, but nothing too bad. As 4 laps later, we will make a even worse mistake. As you can see here, we run wide a bit because a lack of concentration maybe, and we had to take the wide run through turn 1. And in lap 25, again 2 laps later, we come to the pits with 17 seconds gap to Jäger. What the fuck does he come from? Okay. Haas suddenly in P2. And now the Haas leads. And also the Mercedes from Sofx goes through. And also Pole David, we're side by side on a pit exit. Side by side we go up the hill and he gets a better run and is in front of me. And I'm down to P4. But on the following straight with the DRS and overtake and try the dive bomb on the inside. But the braking zone wasn't strong enough to complete the move. And he hangs around the outside and stays in front of me. And I have to settle back with P4 still. But we get a great run through this turn. And then into this next turn we catch up even more. And we nearly lost the car in the middle of the turn. But we somehow still staying with Pole David. Into turn 9 we go. Through this penultimate corner we go side by side down to the final corner. But he switches to the inside and makes the beautiful switch back onto the start finish line and stays in front of me. Without the DRS, I got the DRS and he gets a better run. What the hell? Into turn 1 we go. We make the move, but somehow we nearly lost the car. But instead we prevent him from re-overtaking me. But I nearly run wide on the exit and he tries to re-overtake me, but he has to back off. And I'm released into P3 finally. And he is down in P4. In lap 28, I caught up to Sofx, who is in P2. The Mercedes man is trying to overtake a Haas, who is in P1. We are already in lap 29, and the Haas is still in P1. Is he going to win this race, or will I win another race? I hope the second one, that I win another race, as we are catching up to Sofx. Down to turn 3 we go. We take it on the inside and we overtake him without any problems, and we are up to P2 now. But can he fight back, as our battery is very low now? We defend the inside line with the DRS and he without the DRS and is faster than me. But I completely misjudged the braking point while fighting with Sofx, and I brake way too late and Sofx is through again. and I'm down to P3. A few corners later, I caught up to him again, and through the penultimate corner, I tried to overtake him, and I'm through. Through the final corner of the lap, he gets a better exit, and really overtakes me again on the start-finish straight, and is up to P2 again, and I'm down to P3. So, as we're now approaching turn 1, I haven't got that much battery left, but I will use it all exiting turn 1. Can I overtake him or not? I'm closing, but the battery is empty and I'm losing top speed. And into turn 3 I make a beautiful dive bomb into turn 3, and I'm up to P2 again finally. But as we are exiting the corner, he gets a better run with the DRS. No, I have got the DRS, but somehow he backs off while nearly coming alongside with me. And I'm released to push on to get Jager as I caught up to him in lap 32. With 4 laps to go, I finally caught up to Jager, and we are now fighting versus a Haas for the win in Austria. On my home soil, a Haas, a freaking Haas, is trying to take away the win from me. What is going on? This is crazy. But anyways, we're now really close to Jager. In this little street, I'm closing into the penultimate corner of the lap. I'm closing even more, and through the final corner we go. We run wide a bit as he brakes a bit earlier than I expected him to brake. But down to the start finish straight we go. Into turn 1. Through the first turn we go. I try to overtake him with the overtake, but he's pushing away. He's pulling away and also pushing. Into turn 3 we go. I tried to dive from on the inside, but I only had a little look and didn't fully commit for it. As we exit this turn 3 onto this DRS straight, but he pulls away massively. Our traction is worse than ever, and so he pulls away and stays in front for another lap. Exiting this turn, he also pulled away a bit, but through the 2 left-handers, the 2 only left corners on this track, we catch up to him massively, and through this corner we're now right behind him, but still the battery pretty much empty, so on the straight he will pull away. And through the penultimate corner we go. We catch up to him a bit, and through the final corner onto lap 34 of 36, so 2 laps to go after this one. We're catching, and he squeezes me onto the grass, and I don't know why, but I couldn't put the car back onto the track, and I had to take the runoff, and somehow I lost the place to Jager in the end. Now instead Twich catches up as our run is hugely compromised up the hill, and as we are approaching turn 3, I get the left tap from behind. What is going on? He brakes a bit too late and taps my rear. Exiting the corner onto the straight, he even gets a better run than me and has a better top speed and overtakes me around the outside. I try a Paris v Alonso move in Brazil 2023, but it didn't work out. Twich stays in front for another lap, but Jager's running away. I still want to win this race. It's a 3-way battle, nearly a 4-way battle for the win, as I had a little look on the inside of Twich, a desperate move on the Mercedes General to get up to P2 to somehow catch up to Jager, but I think it's taking a bit too long now, as we are now coming to the end of lap 34. So 2 laps to go, lap 35 and lap 36, as we are now coming to the start of lap 35. I overtake Twich on the inside of turn 1, so I should finally be released now to catch up to Jager, and it worked out. In the end of lap 35, with 1 more lap to go, I caught up to Jager, but he pushes me off track, but somehow I can stay in front of him. I wait till he shoots back past me, and then I will use the overtake to re-overtake him, and into turn 1 we go. On the final lap, I lead the race once again, but it is a close battle. Up the hill we go. My battery is pretty much empty, so I can't use anything of it. Up the hill, into turn 3 we go. He's very close. Through this turn we go. We get the best ever run through this turn I could imagine, but it's not enough, as he's closing and closing and closing. Down to turn 4 we go. He had a little look on the inside, but now gets a better run on the exit of turn 4. Can he overtake me? I defend the inside line, but I run wide and then I lose the rear, and he switches to the inside and overtakes me. I try to hang around the outside, but it's not working. He gets a better run on the inside. Our tires are fading away already. Into the final penultimate corner of the lap we go. I had a desperate look on the inside and I'm through, but somehow he makes the switchback move onto the start finish straight, and it's the photo finish, and Jager's through. The Haas wins the Season 3 Austrian Grand Prix, and I come home in P2, and Twich completes the podium. What a race this was. From the very beginning to the very end, we always had battles somewhere, and here are the results. In the end, I was 2 tenths behind Jager, who denied me from a home race win. And in the end, my teammate went up to P7, starting from P11. A very good result for him, I must say. It's also good for the Constructors' Championship standings. And now, let's check out the Drivers' Championship standings. With the win of Jager, he moves up 3 places. And also Twich moves up 1 place. Also Gasly moves up 3 places. And in the Constructors' Championship standings, we move further away and Mercedes overtakes Red Bull.